No doubt about that. Another team that probably does need an uptick in form, even though they've brought in a new manager this summer, is West Ham. Lopetegui has just 4 points through 4 matches after all of that spending this summer. I assume he's got a bit of a leash, but how long does he really have to get it right and make some changes?
Yeah, I don't think there's any real panic just yet at West Ham. Obviously, it's been a slightly disappointing start to the season. As you said, 4 points from 4 games is probably not what was envisaged, but I think if you take into context some of those games that West Ham have played so far, they had a tough game against Aston Villa at home, and then another one at home to Manchester City, where obviously they lost both games, but they were quite close games as well. So on another day, they might have got a result in those ones. You can't knock the board. They've really backed Julen Lopotegui in the summer transfer window. West Ham were one of the busiest clubs in the summer transfer window and had a big hefty outlay on transfer fees as well. So I don't think you can judge those new signings or Lopetegui just yet. It's 4 games into the season. I think obviously Lopetegui, it will take him time to get his ideas and plans across. Obviously, as West Ham have been used to working under David Moyes the last few seasons as well. So I think Lopetegui, he's a top manager. He showed that during his brief spell at Wolves that he knows the Premier League and he knows how to get a team to be successful in the Premier League as well. So yeah, I don't think West Ham's hierarchy will be panicking or looking to make any changes just yet as well. But yeah, I think they will be expecting a return for all the investment they've put into that club over the summer with a number of high profile signings as well. So yeah, if results don't improve and West Ham don't start picking up points, the pressure will build on Lopetegui. But I fully I'm sure that the West Ham board are not planning anything just yet, and obviously they worked really hard to get Lopetegui to move to the London Stadium this summer, and then they went and backed him in the transfer market. So it'd be pretty foolish now if they were to go and write that off by sacking him.
100%. And obviously, they brought in so many new faces. How long does it take for a dressing room like that to adapt to not only all the new faces, but a new manager as well?
Yeah, it takes weeks, maybe even months, weeks on the training pitch to get used to playing with each other. Obviously, weeks for the manager to get his ideas across and to implement things. And obviously, Lopetegui is still probably working out his strongest team as well, because he will have been coming in pre-season and evaluating the squad. He's got most of the players that he wanted in the transfer market as well, with the West Ham hierarchy uh, opening the purse strings for new signings as well. We've got players like Fulkrug, who obviously he's never played in England or the Premier League before, so it will take time for him to adapt to a new country, a new style of football. But I fully expect him, once he's up and running, to be a big hit for West Ham and a big hit with the supporters, because he's the traditional old-fashioned number 9, and we all love those types of strikers as well. And he will be a real handful for opposition defences, I think, once he gets fully up to speed in the Premier League as well. And obviously, I think Max Kilman, who came in from Wolves, is a good signing, big money signing as well. Todibo from Nice, who's on loan with an obligation. I'm sure he will be a top signing for West Ham as well. But yeah, I think that West Ham squad on paper should be up there challenging for a top 6, even potentially a top 4 finish. So I do think they've got Lopetegui's got all the tools there for it to be a successful season for West Ham. So I do expect an upturn in fortunes pretty soon.
No doubt about that. And you mentioned Todibo. He actually really has not entered the starting 11 yet in the Premier League, with Mavropanos still sticking in there next to Kilman. Can we expect that change soon?
Yeah, well, obviously, if results don't improve, I would imagine that Lopetegui will look to make changes, and he's obviously got good strength and depth now. When you look at the bench that West Ham have got, all top performers, a lot of internationals as well. I'm sure Todibo, obviously, was a bit of a surprise signing in the end when he joined West Ham. He will have been determined to come and make an impact at the London Stadium following his arrival. Maybe just Lopetegui's bedding them in rather than throwing them straight into that West Ham side right now as well. The problem for West Ham is they're quite short in central defence cover, really, having let 𝘽𝙧𝙚 and 𝘽𝙧𝙚 both leave just before the close of the transfer window. So they might have to bring in another player in as well just to sort of bolster that. But yeah, Today was a top player. I fully expect him to get a run in the team, and if he does get that run in the team, I fully expect him to try and nail down a regular spot in Julen Lopetegui starting 11.